Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today I am going to review the first time I'm ever trying one of these vacuum bottles for bringing your lunch to work, or for me it's taking it out in the bush. And that's the unit right there, and I'm going to explain a little bit about the reason why I bought it and my experiences with taking lunches and putting them in a vacuum flask. Or all the years that I've been doing it, I've been using a Stanley thermos, and I decided to try this unit out here. Now it says that it's good for 12 hours to keep things hot. I don't know. I mean, you got to try these things out, right? So I've been using a thermos of one form or another since about the 1960s. Taking a hot meal with you out, for the day, whether it was at school or whether it was to work, or for me it's like going out in the bush. And we're going to review this thing. You're going to get an honest review, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I would use with it. And today I'm actually going to do something that I couldn't do when I was using a regular Stanley thermos. And I'm going to cook something here today, and we're going to see how long this thing actually stays hot. Now I'm only going to test it for 5 hours, because to tell you the truth, I can't envision any reason why I'd want to have something last for 12, but I will in the future go on to a further amount of time with different types of soups that I'm going to use. So let's take a look at what I got here, and I'll explain a little bit more. Well, if we start off right there, you can see it's that's the brand right there. So if you were to just, I just bought this off of Amazon. So if you were to just put that name in there and put thermos next to it, well, in the search engine on Amazon, it'll come up with this product. And of course, it's got a quality control tag from 2013, so that really makes me feel a lot better. Now, this complete unit here, everything is in Chinese, so I couldn't understand anything. I'm not really good on my Chinese, so the instructions on it, well, they're completely useless. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be trying out today. And I've always gone with these soups like this, or like this, or I like this one here as well. Now this is a dried one, same as this one here, and this is the unit right here. Now, could you imagine, now the thermos that I use, the Stanley, well, is a lot smaller than this one, but you could see how small the neck is on this. Like, I mean, you can't, you got to put like really liquid type of soups to go in there. You can't be putting in any of these dried ones, because it's a lot harder to do. And you really can't put like chicken wings and that kind of stuff in this kind of thing, where this one here you actually can. So I'm gonna take all the stuff out of the way here. I'm gonna put some of this into here, and there's something I'd like my viewers to comment on, because I have no idea what one of the articles are that came shipped with this. Okay, so here it is here, and I'll tell you something. One of the main selling features that drew me to this product was this little red button here. And I'll show you here, like this here is just a seal. So all you have to do is just press this, and it breaks the seal for undoing. Because I'll tell you something, on my thermos, if you let it go for like 5-6 hours, man, it's hard to get the top off, because a lot of time there's such a vacuum on there, it's hard to get off. So I mean, I thought this was a great idea. So the distance between here and here is about 3 1/4 inches. I can fit my hand inside and clean it no problem. And it holds a liter, which I thought was fine. Now this is the thing that I really don't know what this is supposed to do. Like I'm thinking maybe it's just like a cover, so when you got it open you can just put something there. Because what I'd be doing is eating directly right out of this, or pouring it into the top, right? So I really don't have a clue what this is for. Maybe to keep flies out, I'm not too sure. But okay, so here's the dry material here. So we'll just put the this in here like this. And what I'm going to do is just break it up a bit. And that's it, just pour it in like that. Nothing fancy, like, come on. I'm not that picky. And for the water, well, I'm just going to put the water in until it just covers the product. And that's it right there. And you're supposed to throw in one of these packages. And that's it. So I am just going to leave that right like that for 5 hours. I'll bring you back after the 5 hours and we'll see what happens, because I'm really hoping that this thing works, because in the future you're going to see me cook a whole bunch of different things in here, and I have my own instant soup recipes that I've come up myself that I've been using with my Stanley thermos that is just going to be terrific for this. So I'll see you back in 5 hours. Okay, so here we are. Now generally what I do is I always put hot water in my Stanley thermos when I'm making coffee and that kind of stuff. But for soup, when I only need it for 5 hours, I just put the soup right in. So I guess if you want it to last longer, of course, you really have to put the hot water in first. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, dump it out, and then put in your hot water or your soup then, because it's already preheated up. So I'm going to try opening this without hitting the button on the top here that releases the vacuum seal, and see how it is here. Okay, that's opening up pretty good. Okay, there it is there. Now I'm just going to pour this out for you here, and this is 5 hours. Now guys, I don't know if you can see this or not, but that's got steam coming off it. And I'm saying, you know what? There you go. You got to put your finger right in it, guys. Guys, I'm telling you. Wow. That is hot, and that is delicious right there. Now there's probably too much to fit in the lid, but of course, I guess you got this to keep the rest warm while you're dumping it in. Okay, like that's 5 hours, and I'm saying that is pretty good, because that's about the exact same I get out of my Stanley thermos. And you know what? I think it's a keeper. So I like the whole idea of having a wide mouth, something that you could actually get in there with your hands and clean. And of course, I guess, yeah, I'll use this just to put on the top in between my servings. So thanks for joining me here today, and like I say, in the future, I'm going to show you some of my recipes that I've come up with myself. Nothing that you just, pull the lid off of and dump in. I'm going to use my own recipes and show you how I do it. I've been doing this for many, many, many years. So stay tuned for them. And you know what? I like this. I think for the money I paid, you know what? I think it's terrific. So maybe you'd be interested in something like this as well too. I mean, whether it's for yourself or your children, or, because I have seen quite a few advertised that said, like 500 mil, or like, I don't know what that is, like a couple of cups. And, like I wanted at least a liter or a quart, at least something that you can get a half decent, amount in. I mean, I got no use for these small little things like this. I mean, what are you going to put in that, right? I mean, I'm out in the bush. I like to have a nice hot meal. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you found this informative. And it's an honest review of a product that I'm using, and you'll see in the future as well. If you haven't seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again and see some real honest reviews. Cheers.